Welcome to Not So News, the current events show that tries to make modern news suck less. So, thanks for showing up. We appreciate it. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving Day weekend. Let's kick the show off with a little love and family togetherness, shall we? And thanks for showing up. We appreciate you. Traditionally, Thanksgiving is a time of togetherness, gratitude, and family, but this year GQ magazine has a slightly different idea of what Turkey Day should be for a few of your relatives. In an article entitled, "This Turkey Day, Consider Making Life Hell for a Few of Your Relatives," writer Joe Berkowitz suggests that it's time to ruin your Trump-supporting family's Thanksgiving, but do it patriotically. Do it for America! Within the article, Berkowitz spews continuous loads of mental diarrhea everywhere in a very consistent manner. He states that Thanksgiving is a time that Americans reconvene in our nostalgia-drenched hometowns and perform time-honored traditions, such as almost sleeping with your high school crush and going around the table to say what you were most thankful for and where you were on 9/11. He goes on to state his support for Hillary Clinton throughout and details his need to stay drunk at Thanksgiving Day dinner because Trump supporters were invited, and that as a Democrat it is your civic duty to filibuster Thanksgiving. The article continues forth, stating that Trump has turned the presidency into a, quote, haberdashery. Mr. Slow Joe Berkowitz then closes his less than intellectual article with some very unhelpful inner family riot beginning tips that are a sure hit for someone. Tip number 1, just don't show up. Tip number 2, show up and be an asshole. No hugs, constantly discuss police brutality. You know, all the normal adult stuff that mature adults discuss. Nothing that would raise suspicion of being mentally challenged or anything. Which brings us to last and least, number 3, a painfully asinine tactic he refers to as, quote, scorched earth, which can be summarized in short as how to act as an immature leftist with the competence of a chopping block. So, in conclusion, this Thanksgiving I'm thankful for stupid people like author Joe Berkowitz of GQ. He serves to be a good example of someone whose ideology should be avoided at all costs. Especially if you would like to continue to have any kind of family life. Be sure to avoid these tips like the plague. If you would like to read the full article by Joe Berkowitz, it is in the Thanksgiving edition of GQ. This compels me to ask a question. If Hillary had been elected, what do you think the presidency would be like now? How do you think it would differ from Donald Trump? So let me know in the comments below. Alright, moving on to something a bit more interesting. This past Sunday, Manson family cult leader Charles Manson dies at 83 years of age of natural causes after 4 decades of incarceration in the California Department of Corrections.
Can you imagine 40 years in a California penitentiary? I bet it was killer time for him. In passing, he leaves behind an 8x10 cell with a sink toilet combo that has an excellent window view of the rec yard, 3 noodle soups, and an outrageous poker deck. This week, Uber looks crisis right in the face. It has recently been brought to light that the company tried to unsuccessfully cover up the breach which happened last year. This breach of information affected 57 million of its customers. Concerns were not solely limited to the information breach itself, but how the attack was handled. The ride-sharing company handled the situation like most modern multinational corporations, by throwing money at it. Uber paid the hackers $100,000 in exchange for destroying the files and forced hackers to sign non-disclosure agreements. The breached information included the driver's license number of an estimated 600,000 American drivers and the names, email addresses, and phone numbers of 57 million Uber users worldwide. Uber joins Equifax as well as Wells Fargo on the non-existent list of businesses to be nominated for the 2017 Outstanding Business Ethics Award, said no one ever. Moving on. During a cabinet meeting Monday, President Trump's administration designates North Korea as a terror sponsor in a move to apply further pressure to the regime because of its nuclear and missile developments. This redesignation to the list comes just 9 years after Pyongyang was removed. They join Iran, Sudan, and Syria on the, quote, blacklist. Trump said, quote, it should have happened a long time ago, and is part of the maximum pressure campaign. Well, America, ask yourself this. How would our economy ever survive without the ever-present threat of war? Meanwhile, in North Korea, Kim Jong-un claims the sanctions imposed make the national spirit stronger, then proceeds to tour the Soon-Lee Motor Complex to take a look at the newest truck models produced by the factory. North Korea has stated that America has taken a hostile attitude and that Washington should be prepared to suffer the consequences. This week, U.S. State Department approves $10.5 billion Surface-to-Air Patriot missile system, which would be the first time that NATO member Poland has bought a sophisticated missile system. The contract includes 4 radar sets, 4 control stations, and 16 launch pads. Congress has 15 days to raise objections. Congress is expected to approve the deal. This would mark the first time that a Polak has ever made a sophisticated purchase. Russia has stated that this is a possible provocation and poses a threat to regional and international peace. Folks, this is a long, horrendous line of terrible Polak jokes waiting to happen. Speaking of, here comes one right now. So, what is a dumb Polak with a sophisticated missile? Yep, you guessed it. He's rushing to use it. Ah! Okay, so that wasn't the greatest, but if you have any good Polak jokes, go ahead and post them down in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Iran's permanent representative to the United Nations, Gholam Khosrow, says, quote, the world doesn't feel safe anymore after the U.S. invaded Afghanistan in 2001. Why do you think we the people feel? I mean, shit. This Thanksgiving, we're thankful that the American government hasn't invaded the United States. Now for some news that most people won't give an airborne cow patty about. Were you considering buying a jumbo jet for the family this holiday season? If you answered yes, you're a damn liar. Tuesday marks the first time that a Boeing 747 has ever been sold on an online shopping platform. China's Taobao, which is the equivalent of America's eBay, saw not one, but two 747 freighters sell for $49 million to China's largest private courier, SF Express. Well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show. This is our first show. If you have any constructive criticism, please leave it in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and share. Remember to hit the little bell for notifications. If you liked it, share it. If you don't like it, share it with people you don't like. Just like, share, and subscribe. All right, we'll see you next week.